So we're out here today meeting with members of Congress on both the House and the Senate side in regards to the Hearing Protection Act. This is obviously our top priority piece of legislation, something we want to move quickly.
We actually have the chance for the first time ever. And I think that's really exciting, but there's so much work to do.
Weaving in and out of the different political hurdles that you're going to find, whether it's with Republicans or with the Democrats, is really where the rubber meets the road in terms of turning a bill from legislation into law.
They think that because Trump got elected that the bill's going to just go through really quickly, which is not the case. It's still a lot of hard work.
I mean, just to even get it heard in committee is a challenge all in itself. Once it gets into committee, it could be completely changed. It could be stripped of certain language, or language could be added. All these different things that can happen that we have to make sure that it really remains what it is.
But one of the things that you come to realize pretty quickly when you're in DC is that these things take time.
I would like for you to kind of explain what it is that we're up against. You know, how many challenges that we're going to face, what kinds of challenges we're going to face, and kind of the build process of how a bill becomes a law.
It's still really hard to get legislation through the United States Congress. Literally, there are thousands of bills that get dropped every Congress.
It's just now getting co-signers or getting co-sponsors, getting a hearing, getting it to the floor, the House, not worrying about the House. I mean, that's the easy side. It's always the Senate because you got to get to 60.
So last year, we didn't get very much movement from the Senate side at all. I would like to make sure that does not happen. We need to really push this. It's very important to the industry.
A legislator will introduce a piece of legislation, it passes through committee, goes to the floor of its respective chamber. Once they pass it through, it'll cross over to the other chamber.
As bills have to be introduced, they get referred to committee. Committees have to agree to bring them up. They have to have hearings. They have to get committee votes. Then they have to go before the Rules Committee, and that's when leadership and the Rules Committee decide, but they set the parameters of the debate.
Expectations have to be measured against the backdrop of how slow this process is of how a bill becomes a law.
Again, we have to think in terms of years, not weeks or months.
They're all an important part of the legislative process, but they make things sometimes painfully slow.
Yeah, I think we're going to have our work cut out for us.
And as you know, I'm professionally vested in this, and I'm personally vested in this. I mean, this is a priority for the National Rifle Association, no question about it.
We are all on board. We want to get this done. It makes sense.
One of the objectives that we've got as well is trying to find a bill to amend this into.
This is by far the most common mail I received my last year here.
This is something that's been felt throughout the industry, whether it's amongst manufacturers, distributors, or dealers. Everybody's hurting.
So we have a lot of heavy lifting to make this thing pass, but I feel hopeful. It's just not going to be anytime soon.
A lot of work to do.
Providers to the U.S. government. AWS is expanding in Northern Virginia and Washington, D.C.